Well, hello, Young and the Restless daily recap fans or weekly recap fans. Today's weekly recap is for November the 18th, 2024 through November the 22nd. Okay, we did have some movement. We left last week off with Sharon telling Nick, and he's just horrified or just can't believe it. No, no, you're remembering things wrong and all the detail, but it's wrong. And so Monday she's I'm so I don't know how I did it. I'm so sorry. But I did do it. And I need you, Nick. I need you to my hand keeps coming out of camera to call Chance. Because I can't do it without breaking down. So she gives the phone to Nick and he, oh no, I gotta put it down. Oh no. Sharon. But I'm just saying that, your meds have been off, this, that, and the other. Nick, it doesn't matter. I did it. And I framed someone else to take the fall. That is a fact. Enough is enough. Uh, Lucy, I mean, it's just enough. And so Nick says, well, you know what? Daniel and Lucy don't deserve this. Yeah, okay, Nick. Really? They don't deserve it? Oh, okay. So Chance is at the hospital visiting Phyllis, and Summer is there, but Summer ran into him earlier. No. Summer's there. And she just kind of don't know how she feels about Chance, but he's just showing some concern. Daniel is there. And Nick calls and he goes, it's important. I need you to get over to Sharon's right away. And so Chance says, okay, I'm on my way. And Daniel says, is it a break in who hit my mom? He goes, I don't know, Daniel, but Nick needs to see me. So Chance leaves. He goes there, and well, he's on his way. But in the meantime, Sharon, oh my goodness, why am I drawing a blank on her? Faith and Mariah arrive because Nick called them. Okay, and Faith is like, "What's going on, um, Mom?" Because Sharon is she's been crying. Oh, see now I'm just not. Oh, I'm fine. See for we, I'm fine, everybody. Yeah. Oh no. And so Faith says, what's going on? Why is mom crying? And Mariah's in there now. She goes, okay, you're scaring me. I'm worried. So Sharon goes, Nick, I need you to tell them. I've got to go get changed. I've got to go get changed for Chance. And Faith is like, wait a minute. Tell us what? And we got to get changed for Chance. So Sharon bolts. She completely took the coward's way out. And Nick was like, sit down, girls, even though they're women, sit down. In a nutshell, your mother killed Heather, and she framed Daniel. And they're like, wait a you see that look on the top right there? That's Faith saying, what? You know, no, not my mother. And Faith is, no, that's impossible. No. Mm-mm. If mom confessed, she was coerced into confessing because she could not have done this. She goes, as a matter of fact, Phyllis is the one that probably coerced her to make this confession because she didn't do it. So if anybody's to blame, it's Phyllis. So Nick has to tell them about Phyllis being run off the road. She's in a memorial right now, coming to see your mother. Now she goes, your mother blacked out, but her car was found near Phyllis's car or nearby, you know. So it kind of looks like she did that too. And they're like, oh my God. you know? So by this time, Chance comes to the door. And Chance says, okay, why am I here? And he goes, Sharon needs to tell you something. And they tell Chance. And Chance was like, huh? You mean I wasn't following all of the evidence? Sometimes the way a person is reacting to things is evidence as well. Sometimes a person breaking into a room to find some evidence that's supposed to be somebody's supposed to have. You mean that's not evidence either? Wow. I mean, the fact that Heather's phone, the password was changed, and Daniel went online and unlocked it for me, for me, Chance, he did it for you. That wasn't evidence? Evidence that he could possibly be guilty? Come on now. If he had her phone and he was texting himself, because remember, Heather, dead Heather was sending text messages. Daniel would have had the new password. As a matter of fact, maybe the phone, he would have said, oh, Heather never locked the password protector phone. He'd taken it off completely, right? That wasn't evidence enough for you, Chance? The fact that Daniel allowed you to search his apartment voluntarily. You didn't have a warrant. Let you have at it. You mean that didn't seem strange to you, Chance? Him knowing that he placed the bloody towels in a alcohol credenza with her phone? That evidence didn't seem strange to you, Chance? Cause see, before I would have called you behind over here, I would have took all that stuff out of my apartment. See, Chance didn't search Daniel's car. I mean, I'd have put it in the car. Bottom line, I'd have burned it, wrapped it in a plastic bag, or not even a plastic bag, but burned it in a tin trash can. Burned it. But guess what? Chance was following the breadcrumb evidence that looked oh so conveniently planted. Yeah, that's you, Chance. So anyway, uh, he's just like, oh my God. And she goes, I did it all. And I framed Daniel and I ran Phyllis off the road, but I don't remember running Phyllis off the road. I blacked out again. And Daniel comes to the door. He just want to know what's going on. Why would Chance be calling Nick? Now Daniel didn't know that Nick called him to come to Sharon's, because Chance didn't say Nick's called me to come over to Sharon's, but Daniel just popped up there convenient, and he just wants to know, did she run his mother off the road? He's thinking it's that, right? And then he's looking at Chance and he goes, what's going on here? And Chance is like, this is an investigation. I can't discuss it with you. I'm going, oh, no, doggone liar. No, yeah, you can. It was his wife that was murdered. He was the one being framed. He was the one. And so Sharon says, no, no, he deserves to know the truth. I did it, Daniel. I killed Heather. Sorry. Oh, girl, don't you think of saying Sorry, because that doesn't begin to cut it. Daniel went off on her red as he should. He even was like, girl, I'm gonna beat you down. Right? And Nick was like, Daniel. He didn't say that, but Nick was like, Daniel, no, hold up, Daniel. I mean, that that's enough, Daniel. He goes, no, no, that ain't enough. And he stashed away. He goes, what do you mean that's enough? what she put me through and my daughter through. And she's just like, yeah. And Faith and Mariah are looking on. You needed to be looking on, right? I had to send my daughter away. And he's like, and you're sorry? I don't accept your sorry, Sharon. And then what I did, he should have brought in this is, but he didn't say it, is, and to make matters worse, you psychopath, is I didn't want you at Heather's funeral. My own daughter couldn't be at her mother's funeral, and you sat your there. You insisted on coming. What kind of sick human being are you? You watched us all grieve, right? And you sat there, Sharon, taking pleasure in it. He didn't say that, but that whole part. He should have, though. They should have written that in because she sure did. She made sure she was there. And she knows she did it. He's like, and are you responsible for running my mother off the road? And Sharon was like, I don't know. I blacked out. And Nick says, we don't know that yet. But they didn't say her car was close enough, right? Found nearby. And so Daniel is really riled up. He goes, listen, Daniel. Nick had got a phone call. No. Nick was going. He goes, I'm on my way to see Phyllis. Daniel, you're coming with me. You need to be by your mother's side. I'm going to go visit her. Let's go, Daniel. So Nick takes Daniel away, right? But um the picture of Faith, Mariah, and Nick, they were looking on as Chance was getting ready to arrest Sharon before Daniel arrived. Horrified, like, oh, no, not my mommy. No, no, she couldn't have. Now, when Lucy was saying the same thing about her father, oh, poor Lucy. Listen, I'll be your best bud. We could text. I'll text you everything that's happening. Oh, okay. Now you gonna text Lucy, Faith? Oh, and Lucy could say, "Oh, Faith, no," because it was your mother that did that and framed her father. I mean, for now, that's what we know, right? We all know in TV land it was Jordan and Ian. But anyway, good. I'm happy they're tying this up with Sharon feeling some kind of pain behind all of this, because Jordan, and from what we're telling them, giggling and laughing, and oh, by the way, Ian has the upper hand on Jordan. Apparently, Ian he was released from prison, free and clear. He did his time. She He arranged for an identity switch to be done, and someone else is taking her place while she's out. And how's that working in prison, everybody? So I guess the prison guards doesn't know that Jordan is looking a little bit different today. Her whole features have changed. I mean, how's that happening? So the cellmate or the cell of the other person didn't know that their cellmate is missing. I mean, they haven't gotten into the intricate part of the story because it's very unlikely it could ever have happened, right? So he told her, look, you walking around is all because of me. Because he's telling her, I need to know how Sharon's daughter's handling this. Because they were saying we didn't know it would take her so long to finally confess. And they're like, they laughing it up. We didn't know she would be resourceful to try to frame somebody else. Sharon did all that on her own. Sharon did all that improvising, from dumping the body to everything else. They just thought she would wake up, call the police, she had call the ambulance, thinking Heather may still be alive. They didn't know she was going to do a Sharon, right? So Jordan says, "Okay, it's time for me, for you to help me get my revenge." And Ian said, "Wait a minute. For one thing, I'm not done. I'm not done with Sharon Newman. Um, we will get to your revenge when I'm done with mine." And she goes, "Look, I can't be walking around free to be recognized. That would ruin everything because I would go back to jail. You, on the other hand, you have been released. So if somebody sees you spying or walking around legally, you are free. I'm not." And he looked at her. He goes, "Ooh, ooh, I'm not. I ain't liking this vibe. Let me remind you of something." Like he didn't. That's when he said, "You walking around because of me." Now, what I suggest you do is go into your huge bag of disguises and disguise yourself. And so she's just looking at him like, "Oh, I'll be doggone if I have him telling me what to do." I said, "Ooh, look." It showed a little conflict there. They showed a little conflict, and I liked it. Now, Dr. Elena is back, being shown on TV. She's the one that's looking after Phyllis. Um, she's the one that, she's talking to Daniel in the family and trying to, tell Daniel to keep the faith. I mean, Phyllis is still unconscious, but, you know, they're still monitoring her. She hasn't gotten any worse, you know. But anyway, it was good to see Elena again. And then they kind of cut to uh Jack. Well, you know what? I'm gonna move along. Elena, Daniel gets back to the hospital. Nick's like, Daniel, come here. Listen, I don't go into your mother's room with this kind of energy. Don't tell, Summer. Like, Phyllis needs your positive energy. Okay. And Daniel looked at him. So Nick goes in first and he said, "Phyllis, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up for me, Phyllis." Oh, blah, blah, blah. And Summer's with her dad. And then Daniel comes in and Summer says, "Hey, where'd you go?" He goes, "I had to do something." And he's trying to be stoic. How hasn't any change in mom? And so Elena comes in and says, "I need to examine Phyllis." Or she's coming to check in on her. And uh, she goes, "Daniel, this is Faith. I'm not Faith, Summer. Daniel, I don't know, something's happened." And so Nick says, "Look, you know what? Let's talk outside the door. Let's go talk outside." Okay. So Nick takes him outside and he sits down and Daniel looks at him and he goes, "Do not try to cover for Sharon, Nick." And Summer's like, "Cover for Sharon how?" And Daniel, so Nick says, "Okay, look, Sharon just confessed for killing Heather." And Summer said, wait, what?" And Chance is taking her down to the PCPD now. No, GCPD now. But, I'm telling you, this is not Sharon. And, she's been going through, different things. And Daniel says, "See, no, stop right there. You're already trying to cover and smooth things over for Sharon, Nick. I'm not going to have it. She killed Heather. She framed me after torturing us for months, right? And Summer looked, she goes, I'm with Daniel, Dad. Don't try to cover for Sharon. Now, I forgot to tell you, Lucy was back. Lucy's back. And when Nick took Daniel and Summer out, Lucy said, can I stay in here, looking over Phyllis, right? So he's like, no, no. And Nick says, no, no, I'm not. I'm not, And look, Sharon came forward of her own free will. No, Daniel said, not soon enough, Nick. My mother is laying in that bed now because it's probably because of Sharon. And Summer said, wait, what? And Nick says, well, Sharon's car was found near the accident, but Sharon has no memory of it, right? So we don't know that Sharon was involved. Daniel says Sharon was definitely involved. I mean, he was on Nick, and I was like, be on him. As a matter of fact, stand up and say, you know what? That is my mother in there. I need you to leave. I need you to leave, Nick. I would have made let Nick be welcome. Or as a matter of fact, I think that is what happened. I think Nick left. Or was Nick there when Phil? Because Lucy comes out. So Nick was probably there. Lucy came out and said, Dad, Dad, Phyllis. So they go, what? And they go running in. Phyllis had opened her eyes and Lucy was there. So Lucy got Daniel and Summer, and they came in, and oh, they were so happy to see their mother was alive. And Phyllis was in pain, and she was very, very drowsy, confused a bit. And so it took her a minute to say, who they were, because Lucy says, Phyllis, do you know who we are? And Phyllis didn't really say anything right off. And so she goes, and she's got a little frustrated. And Lucy says, I'm sorry, did I say the wrong thing? And Summer says, no, no, she's just a little druggy. It's okay. And so she goes, Summer and Lucy, Summer and Lucy. Daniel was going to get Elena. So that's why Daniel wasn't there. And you know what? No, Nick, I think, was gone. I really don't believe Nick was in that room. So anyway, Elena says, look, I need to examine her. And I need, you all to step outside while I do that. And so they're like, but we don't want to. He goes, but, Phyllis says, no, no, I want them to stay. Right. So Elena does her quick little exam and they're so happy. Right. So then after Elena leaves, Chance comes in and he says, I have a few questions, and Summer's looking at him, right? For Phyllis. Because Summer feels that, okay, Summer, and then the next day, he goes, can I ask Phyllis some questions? And Summer's like, she just woke up. This is not going to be a good time. And Phyllis says, I can answer some questions. So he starts asking her questions. And they tell her as soon as she wakes up that Daniel is free, that the charges have been released, that Sharon confessed. And so Daniel says, so I want you to know you were right. And she goes, oh my God. That's what she wanted, her son to be free. She's so happy, right? So now when Chance is asking her questions, and he goes, can you tell me what led up to the accident? What happened? Phyllis says, it's a little druggy, blurry in my head right now. She says, I'm trying to remember, But Daniel tells me that Sharon finally confessed for the murder of Heather. And so Chance says, Summer and Daniel, that he really needed to question her. It's an official investigation. He needed to question her one on one. And Summer looks at him and Daniel looks at him. Phyllis says, it's okay, go ahead and go. So Lucy's out the room too. And she says, so no Chance. Right now, I don't remember everything. And then something pops into her head. She says, wait a minute, wait. Where's my cell phone? Where's my cell phone? Because Sharon was texting me and texting me. The proof is on the cell phone. She says, I know Sharon was the one who ran me off the road because she lured me onto that road. And so Chance says, yeah, but we don't have evidence of that. Once again, now Sharon already said when she confessed, she thinks she did it. And he goes, and I really can't discuss all of that with you. She goes, oh, really, really, really? Had you listened to me and arrested her, Chance, I was telling you it was her. He goes, but the evidence wasn't saying it. He goes, no, Chance. Yeah, the evidence was saying it. You just refused to see it. And he's just standing there. She's like, just like right now, I'm telling you, she ran me off the road. And really, we know it wasn't Sharon. But for all intents and purposes, it is her, right? And even now, you still aren't looking at what's in front of your face, the true evidence. She goes, Chance, you know what? You are biased where this case is concerned. And I don't think you should be on it. And so he goes, well, Sharon was arraigned. Her lawyer got her out on bail. And Phyllis says, lawyer? What lawyer would take Sharon's case? And Chance says, Michael Baldwin. Oh, Phyllis flipped the lid. She said, wait, my Michael Baldwin. My Michael Baldwin. Oh, because in other words, your was Diane's lawyer. You're now Sharon's lawyer. And you're supposed to be my best friend. Right? But Michael said, Phyllis is going to kill me for taking this case. Well, Michael, you're going to get the wrath of Phyllis. So he goes, I will follow where the evidence leads me. And he leaves. But Summer had come in to the coffee house. I think it's like the next day to get some coffee for Daniel and her. And Chance says, Summer, can we talk? She looked at him. He goes, just for a minute, Um, and so they go out on the terrace, and he's like, look, I hope you don't blame me for this. I mean, I really would hate to lose, what we have. And Summer, and she goes, well, you know what, Chance? I'm gonna be honest with you. I do blame you. And he looked at her. She goes, I blame you for arresting my brother for a murder he didn't commit. And anybody that knew him would know he would never have hurt Heather, the woman he loved. But yet, you refuse to listen to my mother, who said it was Sharon, who hated Heather and my brother and was attacking them in public. You didn't do anything, Chance. See, he goes, because Sharon, for the evidence wasn't pointing to Sharon. And from what I knew, Sharon wouldn't do this. She goes, well, what I knew about my brother, he wouldn't have done it. She says, and Chance, had you listened and really looked, my mother right now would not be in the hospital. Summer, I was just following the, if he said that one more time, I was just following the evidence, really. Planted evidence, Chance. He goes, planted evidence, conveniently planted evidence. And you looked no further. She goes, so you know what? No, I blame you. And as a matter of fact, we need to just stop seeing each other. Because I don't know when I can get over this. And he looked, he goes, but you know, Summer, I mean, if I had it to do all over again, I can honestly say I wouldn't have done anything any different. I've thought about this. He goes, I thought about this and thought about this. If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have done anything different. And when he said that to her, and that's when she says, we need to stop seeing, we're going to stop seeing each other. And I thought, what an idiot. Even if you didn't mean it, stupid Chance. Well, if you would have said, I really thought about this and I've been thinking about it all night. If I had to do it over again, I would have looked deeper, Summer. I am so sorry. No, he couldn't even say that. And I thought, Chance, you deserve what you get. What a bozo. Bozo. So now let's go to the other side stories. We had Billy devastated by Jill, with Jill cutting him, his little heart out with the knife and firing him, right? So look, everybody was so concerned about Diane firing Kyle, but really the biggest blow was Jill firing Billy, right? Bigger company. And so Billy is drinking at the bar, runs into Sally, so they drinking together. And he's just talking about what his mother did and blah, blah, blah. And before he saw Sally, he ran into Sally first. And then the next day, I think he ran into Adam, telling Adam, you know, this hatchet job. Or Adam says, ooh, rumor has it that your mother fired you from Chancellor. I don't even think he said Abbott Chancellor, and you're looking for a job again, Billy. So they snipe at each other again, and he goes, "You don't know what you're talking." He goes, "Yeah, I know what I'm talking about." And it was partly your fault. The hatchet job that Newman Media was doing, on Chancellor. And he goes, "Everything I wrote about you was true. Everything." He goes, "We were not in turmoil." And Billy's like, "Yeah, it sure did look that way once you fired Lily." So anyway, it was just a needless back and forth. And then Adam is like, you're gonna, Billy's like, "You're gonna hurt Chelsea just like everything you touch, everyone you touch, you destroy," and blah, blah, blah. And Adam says, "You don't know what you're talking about. Think what you want, but look, Billy, it's just business." That went nowhere. At least it didn't turn into a fist fight. And I think that's when Billy ended up at the bar talking to Sally. And they end up, playing, their silly little word games of things and drinking and deciding, you know what, let's take this upstairs. And Sally grabs his hand and is leading him upstairs. See, she'd been waiting to jump Billy's bones for weeks now because Sally can't go that long without it, right? So anyway, they make out hot and heavy, hit the sheets, and wake up the next morning. They spent the night together. And Billy, before Adam and Victor got to GCAC, Victor called Adam to the ranch with Nick. And Nick walks in the door saying, "Okay, what's this about? I got a lot to do." And Victor says, "No, you come in here." And he goes, "Does this have to do with work? I mean, why is Adam here?" And Adam says, "I was asked him the very same question. Why am I here?" He's Victor's being very coy. So Victor says, "Okay, from what I've been told, Sharon is back on the ranch property. Is that true, Nicholas?" And Adam's thinking like, and Nicholas says, "Sharon is in her house. Yes, she's back in her house." And Adam's like, okay, that's not nothing earth shattering. What have I missed? And Victor says, is she safe to be around us? And Adam's looking at his father like, why are you saying that? And Nick says, Adam doesn't need to be here. This is between you and I. And Adam's like, look, I don't say no more and say no more. And Victor's like, no, Adam's here because I want him here. He goes, Sharon just admitted to killing Heather. And Adam's mouth dropped up like, wait, what? And she's the one that ran Phyllis off the road. And she's the one who burned this house down originally years ago. And you're trying to tell me, oh, she's safe. And Nicholas looked at him. Something else is at play. You know, her meds have been off. And he goes, no, 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 Nicholas, but she admitted to doing these things. And so Adam says, he goes, I want your opinion, Adam. What's your take on Sharon? And Nick says, Adam and Sharon aren't close anymore. And Nick says, but Adam, my son, knew Sharon better than you did in a lot of ways. And Adam just looked at Nick. He said, that's because Sharon identified with my darker side because she has one. That's why she gravitated towards me. And Nicholas says, don't you put your dark characteristics, your dark side on. Sharon does not have a dark side. And Adam's like, yeah, she does. So Victor says, do you feel she'd be safe? She's safe to be here. Adam says, I can't comment on that, Dad. I haven't, Sharon and I mean, we have grown apart. And Victor says, but you've always felt the need to come to her rescue. He said, but that ended years ago. Nick is the only one that can't end that. He can't end feeling the need to come to Sharon's rescue. He can't end feeling the need to come to Phyllis's rescue either. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh yeah, he could kick Phyllis to the curb easily and not come to her an aid to protect her or see the better side of any Phyllis. He's hard on. He really is. But Sharon is just the goodest white angel to him. Just oh, love my Sharon. She wears a halo. So anyway, that went nowhere, and that was really stupid for Victor to even bring Adam in on that. I was like, okay, that was ridiculous. So he and Adam goes to the GCAC. Now, mind you, I got this huge house rebuilt that has a staff. Why didn't you have the staff cook us for breakfast? You got a chef. I know you do. But no, we go out and we spend the money. And Billy and Sally are coming down because they famished after the 2, 3, 4 trysts they had in the bed that night. They just went at it. Um, and Adam sees them come down the stairs and he's glancing like, wait, what? And he sees them kissing each other and he sees Billy with his arms around Sally's lower waist as they're oh, Adam's like, what the heck? Right? Kind of left it there, but he saw, okay, wow, I was not ready to see that. And now coming on to Friday. Let's see, coming on to Friday. No, that was Friday, pretty much. Yeah, that is up to speed on Friday. So we did have some stuff happening. Um, anything else? Kyle, side note, Diane and Jack talked to Kyle. They let him try to really explain to him that they did it for his own good. And of course, Brat Kyle's like, oh, and you laughed at me. You did this to humiliate. Blah, blah, blah. And they said, no, we needed you to see that Victor had no loyalties to you. He wanted anything that would hurt Jack. He got you to hurt Jack, and then he wanted me to hurt Jack. That's all he wanted. It was easy for him to let you go, Kyle, because he was never invested in you. And Kyle says, "Oh yeah, yeah, but sure, it was sure easy for you to humiliate me." Oh, so he's just back and back and back. And then bottom line, Diane had the nerve to tell Jack, because Victor did give her glissade. He called her over to the house, and Nikki's like, "What is she doing here?" And he told Diane, "Okay, I've already transferred the company over to you." And she goes, "Just like that?" He goes, "Yeah, just like that." She goes, "Victor, I've known you for years. Something else is amiss with this." He goes, "Do you want it or not?" She goes, "Yeah, I want it." He goes, "But," he goes, "I've got bigger and better things going on." He says, "I don't need to be glissade. It means nothing to me." So Diane leaves and she goes and tells Jack. And he goes, "That fast like that?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I forwarded it over to legal so they could look at it, and see, is there something amiss with it?" And she goes, "But they're looking at it now." But then Nikki came out and said, "Is Diane gone?" And so Victor said, "Yeah." She goes, "What was she doing here?" He goes, "I signed over glissade to her." And Nikki said, "You what?" He goes, "Yeah, I signed it over to her." "Why would you do something for her?" He goes, "Look, Nikki, glissade meant nothing to me. Nothing. And now that we have Chancellor, that's our focus, not glissade." He goes, "And by the way, once Diane realizes that what I gave her is not what she thinks I gave her, it's nothing." So there's a fast one in the deal. There's some kind of fast deal, meaning, let's face it, Glissade stole Jabot's that new product, right? Victor's probably going to exclude that product from the sale. He's probably going to sell her Glissade based on what it was the day he acquired it and nothing after, which meant it was a shell of a company. So we'll find that out, next week what happens. But Kyle is just complaining to, um, what's that chick's name? Victoria's daughter, Claire. You know how he can't, his parents tricked him. He can't forgive him. They did that, blah, blah. My mother fired me. I fast forward Kyle's whining. I'm sick of it. You're a grown man. You made your own bed. You were undermining your mother after pushing your father to give her the promotion or recommending her for the promotion. And then you were undermining her like a jerk. And now he's okay, so she fired you. She had some gumption. You deserved it. And now she fired you from this company. Victor told her to do that. And they told him, Victor, that way. And he wanted her to do it right there at Abby's wedding, Kyle. That's Victor for you. But no, I don't know if when I'm gonna forgive them or if I can. Oh, that means nothing to me. So everybody, that's it. That's what happened in Young and the Restless Land. Let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. We've got Anita says, "Daily Recap Lady, thanks for reviewing YNR on YouTube. Ignore my message regarding only recaps on TikTok. No, no, not only recaps on TikTok. I've been doing 1 minute, usually a minute and 10-second reviews. They're called rapid recaps on TikTok. So I do rapid recaps. So when you follow me on TikTok, you can get a quick TikTok. You can get a quick rapid recap, and then like it and comment and whatever. Enjoy the live chat on Saturday. Looking forward to the next live chat. Yes, the next live chat will be mid-December. I don't quite have the date following that one. Let's see. Let me look at my calendar here. Do I have a date? Date. December. It'll probably be Saturday, December 14th. That'll probably be the live YouTube, Saturday the 14th. And then we have Denzel. Denzel says, "I'm not even surprised that Kyle got fired by his mother, Diane, but mostly it was Victor's plan to fire Diane. That both uh, Jack and Diane were all beyond this the whole time, or behind this the whole time, to give Kyle a wake up call. And guess what? It doesn't, I mean, it didn't just make things even worse. Yeah, it did make things even worse. I ain't blaming Kyle one bit for getting mad, but this was a wake up call for Kyle. At this point, Josh Griffin, the Young and the Restless writer, just writes Billy and Kyle to start a new company, and Stitch and Snitch Lily go back to work for her family's company with Devon and Nate. At this point, in my opinion, yeah, you know what? Where is Amy? She should be there pushing for that too, right? But let me see. Got somebody coming up to my door, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, Mamie would be, that's what she wanted, right? I'm surprised they haven't shown her. And what happened to her shares of Chancellor once things split? See, all of that, she lost all that money down the drainio. Okay. But you know who I actually thought of and felt a little sorry for? Because we're talking GLAAD is this big bargaining chip, or actually little bargaining chip for Kyle and the Abbotts, and it's going to end up being folded into Jabot. Let's face it, it'll be an international wing of Jabot. Audra, the one who really wanted it, the one who really, really fought Tucker and took him to task. Huh? Out in the cold, baby. And realistically, they don't need Audra's character on the show anymore. I mean, what's she good for? She's good for nothing. And isn't it ironic that GLAAD is back in the hands of an Abbott, even though it's Diane, when it was Ashley Abbott and Tucker's brainchild? So when they bring it back under the Jabro umbrella, won't Ashley just have some stake in it as well? That is just like full circle, full doggone circle. So yeah, let's get back to Comic Corner. Uh, Wake up call though. Uh, Billy does not have what it takes, and neither does Kyle, to start a new company from scratch. No, they don't. Billy doesn't have the stick to itiveness, the long term, starting something very small, growing it big. He wants to take over stuff that's already established. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he came to Jack, uh, asking Jack to make him CEO again, co CEO. He goes, look, I know, because he walked in on Jack and Diane were talking, but she caught a glimpse of Billy coming through the front door. So she snapped back into the fight. I'm going to get what I deserve. And Jack was kind of like, where is that coming from? And her eyes went like, look over, look over. And he goes, you're not getting nothing. I'm not giving you anything. As a matter of fact, get out of this house. So Billy is like, okay. He goes, Jack, you really need somebody on your side. You got a lot going on. You got an open position. I know the company. I've run it, and it will be perfect for me. And Jack ended up having to let him down easy. And then Billy had to be Billy and say, oh, okay, okay, see, when the chips are down, you're not there for me. Like I said, see, oh, he was trying to butter up to his brother. Forget what I said, a few weeks ago about me. It was, or when I left Jabot, that it's too hard to live up to your expectations. No, no, I look forward to raising my blah, blah. Mm-mm. And so Jack said, Billy, you just don't understand, but it'll all be made clear in just a few days. But I can't. No, can't. No, you won't. And that's when he ended up going back and going running into Sally and blah blah blah. Billy stomping like a brat. So anyway, let's see. But I kind of felt bad for Billy when he got blindsided and got fired by his own mother, Jill, when he was talking to Sally, which I didn't see any chemistry at all, but soap TV for you. At least Devon and Lil Abby's wedding wasn't ruined or there wasn't any drama, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful wedding, though. Great review, recaps. Great review, daily recaps, like always. Thank you, Denzel. And then Denzel comes back and says, well, it looks like Phyllis got into a car accident, but she's going to survive the car accident. Finally, Sharon confessed, told Nicholas everything about killing Heather and everything too. Um, this led to turn herself in until the real killer comes, which is Jordan. That's the one, the killer uh, that killed Heather. It's so good to see Jordan too. Great review, daily recaps, like always. I'm hearing a lot of people liking Jordan. I don't like her at all, but that character. Um, what's so interesting? How they're writing in this Ian character, who was the cult leader way back in the day and all that. Why his target is Sharon. I was trying to figure out why on earth would his target be Sharon. Watch Cameron Kirsten have been Ian's son. Watch. And Ian wants to revenge his son's death. Watch, that's gonna be it. Anita says Sharon's storyline is so long. I can't wait until everyone finally finds out that Sharon had been hallucinating regarding killing and dumping Heather's body. The storyline has gotten kooky. And then Anita says, Abby's wedding dress, I agree with you. I didn't care for it. Also, some other dresses did not appeal to me, like Ashley, Summer, and Victoria. Lily's dress was nice, in my opinion. And then Cheryl says, Nick pissed me off by not listening to Sharon. I know. And then Lisa says, didn't, I really don't like Jill for this. She did not give Billy a chance. She has no idea what Lily tried to do with Victor. She could have lived her life without dealing with the company. Lily was there. Oh, she could, yeah. What she did makes me sick. I hope Billy can form his own company. Billy doesn't have it in him to form his own company. Denzel says Chance is one of the dumbest GCPD. Sorry and all. Just saying, it was good to see Jordan back because we need a villain like Jordan. I think she's the one uh, that caused Heather's death and framed Sharon, probably gotten involved with Phyllis's car accident, but we just got to wait and see. But Jordan breaking out of prison, once she actually switched places with somebody, um, this is the new guy, whatever his name is, Ian. Just so dumb, just some dumb writing by Josh Griffin. Plus, Josh should just let Victor kill Jordan for once. Yeah, that would have been nice had Jordan just finally been dead. I mean, we needed that. Okay, let's see. And then we've got Alfreda says, I think Diane's dress was nice. Nice, better turn, wait, nice, better turn her in, even though she didn't kill Heather. You mean you skipped to Sharon, but she did everything else. Yeah, you did skip to Sharon. Then Alfreda says maybe they can take Victor down this time. So I doubt they take Victor down ever. That's it, everybody. That's it for the week of November the 18th through November the 22nd on The Young and the Restless.